Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy Marshall live, and I am live, you guys. It is episode number 36 of the Marshall Gillen Show. It is June 30th, a Tuesday, at the time of recording this episode. And I got to tell you guys, I am extremely grateful and excited to be back, as always. I can't believe that something as simple as streaming video has allowed me to change my life as drastically as it allowed me to change my life. Now, I don't know what you do for a living. I don't know what you do for work, and not that anything's better or worse. It's just you got to get in where you fit in, right? And I'm just every single morning. I know it sounds crazy. I've been going live and making videos and shows like this for almost 4 years now, and even now, every single morning I sit down here and I pre-do the show and I turn on the lights and I'm nervous. Straight up, Gillen gang, I'm nervous. I'm like, oh man, oh, I hope that this episode is good, man. And then I just go live. It's every day. It's a fear, but I'm so grateful. You guys see me get on here so hyped up every single time I record an episode because I'm again, I'm hanging out in shorts, freaking flip flops. I'm gonna be outside in the sunshine in the creek later today. I think I'm gonna drive to get some water from the spring. You guys know that I try to go get spring water naturally from a place here in Franklin Grove as often as I possibly can. It's a good day for that. And I'm just blessed. I'm so grateful that I get to freaking make money and my job is to make videos and help people. What are we even talking about? And so, Gillen gang, if you're watching this or listening to this, first off, I want you to have more freedom. Straight up, I want you to have more freedom. And people think that oh, Marshall, why do you do this? Why don't you just go do drop shipping? Why don't you do real estate? Why don't you do something that's easier? You know what, you guys, not that one way's better or other. That's just my soul, my being was called here to teach. I'm supposed to teach. That's what I'm supposed to do. And so a lot of you who are listening to this or watching this right now, you feel like I feel. There's just something inside of yes, you want a lot of money. You want to make a lot of money. And some of you are making a lot of money. You want to be able to travel. You want to be able to have nice things, right? I know, if you're like me, you want that. But there's just something inside you that gnaws at you constantly where you're just I just want to do something that helps people. For me, I went out and made a bunch of money. Yo, Sean, what is up? Davey, what is up? Yo. Hey, Maria, thanks for hopping on, you guys. Gillen gang is in full force. Maybe you guys are like me and you went out and made a lot of money and you realized that didn't make you happy. And so for me, the constant shifting has been, okay, cool. Well, let's make a lot of money and be really happy. And I personally have been able to do that. My clients have been able to do that because we literally just became self-aware of what it was that we are and what we're not. And then we just set clear goals on what we wanted to achieve. And so, I just want to say real quick, if you're not waking up every morning hyped about what you're doing, I'm telling you guys, I'm not saying that you're doing it wrong, but you may just want to make some tweaks or adjustments to it because life is so amazing. And it starts with health. And I know a lot of people are oh, okay, that's very cliche. You're going to try to sell me? Dude, I don't have nothing to sell you guys. This is the Marshall Gillen Show. That's actually, nope, that's not true. I got something for sale. Oh, I got something for sale. Look at, we got new shirts at marshallgillen.com. If you guys go shop marshallgillen.com, you guys can get your official Gillen Gang t-shirt. Look, not only t-shirts, you guys, we just got new merch in. Look at this. The freaking hoodie is in too. I'm so stoked on this, man. I'm just so excited. It's not even about for me. It's just to be able to start a collective of like-minded people that are moving towards a goal. So if you guys haven't gone to marshallgillen.com, got your shit yet, go do that. Oh man, I'm in a good mood today. I hope you guys are in a good mood today too. So, but no, I want to share something health-wise with you guys, but I don't have anything to sell, okay? The reason I want to talk about this is because yesterday I started something, and I shared with you guys. I shared on briefly on the end of episode 35 why I was doing this, and today I wanted to expand on this episode because it's something that Big Pharm is not teaching us. It's something that school has never taught us. It's something that the government has never taught us. Our parents and our friends aren't talking about it, and it's literally the number one health secret that Big Pharm doesn't want you to know. And again, I'm not a network marketer. There's nothing to sell on this episode, you guys. I just want you to understand, legitimately, for me to be able to have freedom, to be able to make money, to be able to travel, to be able to help people, to be able to invest my money, my time, and my energy, to be able to level up, all of that, all of success or anything, whatever you interpret success as. I'm rarely at a loss for words, Gillen Gang. That's weird. I want one of those hats. I know those America hats are pretty dope, right? Now listen, I know that you all want more freedom. Like, you don't really want money, because money is no more value than the value you place on it. It's not even a real thing. It's made of cotton. It's not even real, right? Money is made up. And so it's not really money that you want, because if money ceased to be of value, you wouldn't want money anymore. What you truly want is freedom. You want to be able to wake up in the morning and be able to not have to report to a boss or a job. You want to be able to have the freedom to not have to look at a price tag. You want to be able to freedom to be able to hop on a plane and go anywhere you want, or go buy an RV and travel the world. You want to have the freedom to be able to provide for your friends, to give to your family, because you have the financial freedom, you have the time freedom, and you have the mental and emotional freedom to be able to do that. Okay. Now, I'm with you, Gillen Gang. I want the exact same thing too, but you have to understand, the cliche or not, it all starts with health. And I can prove it. I'm going to be 36 in October. It's June at the time of shooting this. So what is that? July, August, September. So like basically 4.5 more months, I'm going to be 36. And the number one thing that I've learned for my happiness and my success is to take care of my energy. Okay? Is to take care of my energy. Energy is everything. I mean, literally and figuratively. Like Gillen Gang, we know that quantum physics proves that the entire universe, even the empty space that we cannot see, it's all energy. Every single thing is just simply energy in this universe. And so, like I always say, Gillen Gang, everything in life or reality is a micro or macrocosm of itself. It's just different details or stories that make it up, right? And so I took a look at this and I was like, well, I wonder how that applies. But energy applies, if energy is everything, how can I maximize my energy? How can I maximize the energy that I have so I can maximize the production, the output, right? Because the more efficiently I run, the better I do. And so for me, it all started when I was 27. You guys know the story. I was violent person, drug addict, alcoholic, tempted suicide, 5-time college dropout. I was a miserable, toxic, destructive human being. And at the age of 27, I had finally ended up back out in San Diego. I had washed out. I had washed out, you guys. I was washed out. I had, full academic rides. I had scholarships to play football at Division II schools. I had every opportunity that there was. I was in banking. I was accelerating. I had every opportunity to have success in my life. And I'd always squandered it. I'd always self-sabotaged it. I had always found a way to let my destructive habits destroy any opportunity or being able to capitalize on it. And then I'd always say to myself, I'm a good person. Why does bad stuff always happen to me, right? If you've ever done that before, give me a like or give me a love on this video. Hey, check it out, Gillen Gang. If you're listening to the Marshall Gillen Show on podcast, do me a favor, make sure you subscribe and download these, and make sure you leave me a review. Let me know how I'm doing. If I suck, then tell me I suck. I don't think I do, though. So tell me how awesome I am below. That way other people can find us in Apple and find us on Google and Stitcher and Spotify, because you guys are helping me get the brand out there. If you guys are watching this video on YouTube, make sure you share the link. Be a friend, tell a friend, you guys. All right, let's get this message. I want to tell you guys the number one secret that Big Pharm doesn't want you to know, okay? And so what I learned when I was 27 is I had washed out. I was in San Diego. I had just rented a room on Craigslist. I'd never done that before. I rented a room on Craigslist. I moved in with these strangers, this couple. I was living kind of like in this basement room, and I didn't have a car. So I had to ride the bus to a temporary job as basically a pool attendant at a really, really high-end fancy hotel called the Hotel Del Coronado. And in Hotel Del Coronado, it's right on the beach. It's like a top 10 spa resort in the world. It's mega famous, and it's very old, but very rich in history. And so I get a temp job at here, and I'm 27, and I'm working folding towels for this members area, because the hotel also doubles as a kind of like a country club for local members of the island of Coronado. And you have to have like some money to live on Coronado. And so these people would come to they had a little area, special area all by themselves in the hotel. So they'd come to the gym and they would check in. They have members locker rooms and lounges and showers and stuff in the back, and then a private member pool. And so I was a part of the rec department, but I was assigned to the members area. So my job was to show up and to do all these things with the members. Now, I was at the brokest and lowest point in my life. My friend had just no, he hadn't died yet. I was at the lowest point, one of the lowest points of my life, soon to be the lowest point of my life, and I was around all these insanely wealthy, rich people, and it was just like crushing on my ego. I didn't understand. I didn't understand all of that. I didn't understand now what I didn't understand then what I know now. But I just remember thinking, man, it's crazy. It's crazy how insecure and worthless I feel being around all these people with money. And so one of our viewers, Maria, says, like Brandon from 90210. Girl, I don't know. I didn't watch 90210, but maybe. And so there was that. And then all the kids that I worked with, I was 27. All the people I worked with were like 17, 18, 19. They were just back from college, just working a summer job. And so if it wasn't bad enough, they're all looking at me like, why is this old ass dude working here? And I just felt like the lowest, tiniest piece of crap that there ever was. Okay. Now, I had never worked out. I wasn't working out. I was always just a natural athlete, and but I never really worked out. And I didn't really care about health. I didn't understand it, didn't know, whatever. And I was like thicker. I was like jiggly. I drank a lot of beer. And I was at work one day, and there was nobody there. And I just showed up. And I remember looking at the fitness center because I was at the front desk where you check the members in, hand them a towel and whatever. And I remember looking at the fitness center, and I was like, I got to ride the fucking bus an hour and a half here every day. I got to get up super early in the morning, ride the bus here so I can be here at 6 a.m. in the morning. Why in the fuck don't I just get a workout in before I start? Hey, later, Sean. Like, why don't I just go get a workout in before I start? Right? And so I just started showing up, and I just started working out. I just started working out every morning. And after about 30 or 40 days, I remember looking in the mirror and being like, holy cow. Is this what happens when you stay consistent and you follow a plan? And at the age of 27, you guys, I know it sounds crazy, but when I realized that, I was like, oh, this is consistency and planning. Wow. Look at my results. I wonder what else in my life I can change if I apply consistency and a plan. I mean, I know it sounds simple, but I never thought about it. I was never taught it. And so from that moment, I started working out and started taking my fitness or my health serious. So what I fueled in my body, this type of food I ate. Now, as I did that, everything started to change. I started to have more energy in my life. I started to pursue entrepreneurship. I launched my first business, the Bar Marshal, which was a great success. But I closed it down because it was too. I wasn't getting the value for my time. That's how I moved into personal training into online personal training into digital marketing, e-commerce into trading into consulting into coaching into speaking, and now speaking into what I do now, right? And so it's interesting because it all started with my health. Now, as I've gotten older and into health, I can preach a ton of different things to you guys, but I literally want to tell you guys one of the coolest places to start is the number one health secret that Big Pharm doesn't want you to know. Okay. So I mean, literally, it's the number one secret that Big Pharm doesn't want you to know. And the reason that Big Pharm doesn't want you to know is you guys have to understand how this whole thing works. Now, at the expense of sounding like a conspiracy theorist, let's just talk about how this all works. Let's talk about how Big Pharm works. Okay. You guys know that I believe that there is a global elitist, a small group of people who want to destroy the world, take it over, and they want to enslave population. However, the great nation of America has stood in the way for too long because their freedoms are in our military. They keep us free. They keep the world free. If the military falls, the whole world falls, man. And so for years, this has been going on. Now, they have been programming us and poisoning us to make money off us and to control us for a long time. Okay. And Big Pharma is part of that. We talk about big ag, big meat. We talk about big ad, big media, big government. All of that, right, is against humanity, but definitely in America, it's against Americans. And what I mean by that is, like, you have to understand is that, like, we have the cure for cancer right now. Like, anybody can cure their cancer, like, no problem. And then you're like, Marshall, fuck that. My mom died of cancer. My uncle died of cancer. How dare you? Fuck you. I understand your pain, and I'm not here to discount or diminish what anybody has experienced themselves or what they've gone through. What you got to understand is that a disease comes from a energetic dis-ease within your body, your mind-body complex, right? Because this is all just energy. And so, okay, you go, okay, Marshall, cool. Like, let's not get too far out there today, though. Let's keep it tangible, right? Let's keep it so we can actually take steps. And so, one of the things that I know is that Big Pharm, if we get healthy, if we're healthy and not sick, then Big Pharm goes under. They can't sell us drugs if we don't need them. And so you go, okay, well, how do you do that? Well, you teach doctors about how to treat symptoms, but you don't teach them how to heal root causes. You don't teach doctors about nutrition. You don't teach doctors about supplementation. You overload them with information on how to treat symptoms, and you keep them so busy that they don't even have time to even ask questions about nutrition. Okay. And then you do movies and TV commercials and big ads and lobbyist group and politicians that'll push different agendas. You program the society that they need certain things. So, for example, over in London right now, the economy is crippling. There could be donations for so many different things that could help, save that economy. And in London right now, the government just donated $500,000 to the milk industry. So the milk industry can push a commercial on TV right now that says, milk your moments. Hey, we may be inside right now, but through drinking milk, we'll stay strong. Every time you drink milk, take a picture and hashtag milk your moment so we can be in this together or whatever, right? Now think about that. The London government is spending $500,000, giving away $500,000, which is taxpayer money. That's how the government gets their money, from taxes. So they literally took, in a time when the taxpayers need money and help the most, the London government took $500,000 of that taxpayer money and gave it to the milk industry, so the milk industry could literally pour it in 100%, okay? So they could sell more milk. Now, that's just one example. That same exact example happens here in America, all over the world, here in America especially, time and time and time again. That's how the whole system works. What's unfortunate about that is that studies are out there. I'm not going to go over them now. You can go find them yourselves and do the work like I did. Actually, or you guys, if you want to connect with me, I'm starting something new. If you guys text Gillen Gang to 833-222-2694 every single Monday, I'm going to be doing a Zoom hangout. So if you want to literally get on with me and have a talk with me once a week, and you guys want to connect with other cool Gillen Gang people all across the world who are just as motivated, dedicated as you are, text that number. Okay, it's a private number I got just for Gillen Gang, and so just so I don't lose it, so I make sure I know like who it is or what it's for. Just send me the word Gillen Gang to 833-222-2694, and I'll message you back with the private link and then the password to get into that room on Monday. Okay, so if you guys haven't done that, go do that. But recent human studies have shown that consumption of dairy products increases the likelihood of cancer by over 50%. 50%. That means if you consume dairy on a regular basis, you have a 1 in 2 chance basically of getting cancer. Okay? The more you know. Now, there's all different kinds of ways that you can get disease. They're environmental. They're what you eat and what you consume. And then emotionally, the thoughts and feelings that you create. Okay? There's all different kinds of things. When they say stressor is the #1 killer, you guys, it's true. Stressor is the #1 killer of lots of things. Not just cancer, degenerative diseases, heart disease, organ failure. It's just an energetic disease, you guys. It's not that, I'm not talking crazy. The science is there to prove it. They don't tell you this, though. Big Pharma doesn't want you to know this. This is why you see the big food. This is why you see big ag and big, like, did you guys know, like, what is it called? Cellulose? I should look it up. Cellulose, CELL. It's in everything. Anyways, that's wood. That's sawdust. Okay, that's sawdust. Legally, the FDA, the Federal Drug Administration, Food and Drug Administration, legally, they allow food companies to put up to a certain percentage of sawdust in your food as a filler. Okay, there's all kinds of crazy shit that's in your food. Our food in America especially is chemically engineered, not grown naturally. It's chemically engineered to kill certain brain cells and then upregulate the production of other brain cells that teach your body, that build a habit, that make you crave something. So if you wonder why you always crave, there you go, cellulose. Right there. That's sawdust. Okay? So just so you know, there's all kinds of crazy shit in your food. And the reason they do this is for twofold. One is they want to get you hooked, because the more that they can get you hooked, the more that you will buy. You'll become addicted to it. Now, when you eat these foods that are created in the lab, what I always say is I always try to eat food that won't last longer than a week. If it lasts longer than a week, then it's probably not good to eat. Okay? It's called living food, just called eating whole, real, natural food. And so eating whole, and again, I'm going to get to the number one secret that Big Pharm doesn't want you to know. Okay? It's literally the number one secret Big Pharm doesn't want you to know. And I'm going to share it with you guys, but I want to build a little backstory first. And so you have to understand that Big Pharm wants to keep you sick, and they pay doctors to write prescriptions. It's like getting bonuses. The more prescriptions they write, the more bonuses they get. Okay? It's a sick and twisted thing. But when you have the opportunity to go get money that's on the table, I'm telling you guys, it's tough for human beings to walk away from it. Some of you have probably done things that you weren't proud of for money before too. And so I'm not here to judge anybody. We're all just trying to survive and live, but we've been programmed to think that we can only get money by one way, which is not true. Money is just the energy. We've talked about this so many times. So health, abundance, wealth, it's your birthright. It's what God put you here to do. You're literally God created you for a purpose. God does not give life without purpose. You have, like you and all the little sperms that were floating out of your little daddy's pecker, right? You had a 1 in 400 trillion chance of being the sperm that won the race. A 1 to 400 trillion chance of being the little spermie that won the race. So if you're alive, you're 1 out of a 400 trillion chance. So if you don't think that you're lucky, bro, you're tripping. You're luckier than fuck. You won a lottery of 1 in 400 trillion, and then you wake up every day upset. Life sucks. Nothing ever goes right for me. You fucking kidding me? You won the ultimate goddamn lottery. You're alive. Okay? But they got to keep us sick and unhealthy and in fear to control us. That's how it works. The higher the stress goes, the more unhealthy you get. When you eat food that's void of nutritional value, so if it lasts for a long time, you keep putting that into a body that's filled with stress and fear, what's going to happen is energetically it's going to break down and get disease. And all the commercials, like think how many fucking pharmaceutical commercials are on TV every single day. And so what happens is then you got to go to the doctor. The doctor says, oh, fuck, you're sick. You need to get this medicine to treat it. And it's cyclical. Okay? Same thing with big agriculture, big farm. The way that they grow their agriculture, the amount of water they need to be able to take care of all the crops, and all that water and all those crops don't even go for people. They go for fucking animals. It's so silly. It's a middleman. If more people understood that they could eat plants, there would be so many crises to solve. I'm not telling you not to eat meat, but what if like you ate 80% plant-based? You know, and the land was used to grow food for us, not to grow food so we could, to the animals, then we could eat. You guys got to understand that no real nutritional value comes from eating an animal. I eat meat. I'm not saying don't eat meat. What I'm saying is you got to understand, though, is that none of the nutritional value comes from meat. You go, oh, Marshall, we get B12 from meat. No, you fucking don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. B12 is a bacteria that comes from dirt. Comes from bacteria that's created in the dirt. And because animals eat and fucking rummage through dirt, they are eating the bacteria. The bacteria then becomes part of them. It goes into their cells. The same exact cells that actually the atoms, the cells that make up us are the same cells that make up animals. It's their flesh. They eat it and it becomes them. It becomes their cells. And so you're not getting B12 from the animals. You're getting B12 from the bacteria that they eat from the dirt. And it's because you don't eat enough dirt or you don't eat enough real whole-grown food that you don't get enough B12. And as a matter of fact, the topsoil has been so molested and prostituted over the years that B12 doesn't naturally even really grow anymore. And so you have to, you should be supplementing with B12 regardless. Okay? So Maria says meat is muscle. It helps me keep my muscle straight. It's true, but consider this. So I've told you guys before that we are just made up of cells. Every single year, the human body is basically 100% new material. it's turned over 100%. Cells, atoms don't actually age. So the human body doesn't actually have to age. You guys don't actually have to get older. Like that's not true. It's a lie. That's 100% lie. Now you go, well, Marshall, we're all going to die eventually. Yes, that's true, because collectively, the collective consciousness and the aura that we've created here in this third dimension, but as we move into the fourth dimensional reality, is one that only allows us to live so long, because it's a collective vibration frequency that this avatar can't last. But as we continue to come back over those next 40,000 years, I talk about as we are here in fourth dimension before we move into the fifth dimension, we will start to live longer. But in the meantime, our cells don't do that. They have to be made up of what we consume. Like if I put a peanut butter sandwich inside of this iPhone, and then this iPhone turned into a peanut butter sandwich, you would shit yourself. You would be like, holy fuck, you stuck that inside of there and it became that? Oh my God, I'm gonna take this money and stick it inside this tree and see if it works. However, like you don't think of the same thing. You put something in your mouth and your body becomes it. It's the most ridiculous, amazing, marvelous, just outstanding machine that's ever been made. You put something in it and it becomes it. What the fuck are we talking about? That's crazy. So why I'm telling you this, Maria, because Maria says, meat is muscle. It helps me keep my muscle straight. Okay, cool. Consider this. Your cells that make you up are made up, there's DNA inside of it. And inside that DNA, there's information stored. And so you guys have heard me say before that only 5% of our memory is stored in our brain. Only 5% of your memory is stored in your brain. 95% of your memory is stored in your body. The cells that make up your flesh have DNA inside of it. And inside that DNA is information. It's a code. It's information. It's the information of every single thing that's ever existed and ever been known. It's all infinite wisdom. It exists in every single one of your strands of DNA and all of your cells and everything that there is. Now, that means that memory is stored in our body. And so if you wonder why people get disease in certain areas of their body, it's because emotions and energy is stored in certain organs. Okay? Like anger and frustration, rage is stored in your spleen. Okay? Produced in your liver. Worry, angst, fear. Okay? That's stored in your stomach. There's all kinds of things. So you have to understand is that when you learn something, a circumstance or an event happens in your life, it's time stamped really quick in your body, and that information is sent to the responding storeroom, essentially. Every part of your body stores different information. So the information that you learn, whatever the emotion is sent to that part of the body, and that's where it's made up of. Okay. Now, why this is important to eat meat? Because with animals, it's the same way. 95% of everything they know and experience, they don't think consciously. So they don't have conscious thoughts. That's the next evolution. That's how you go from 2D to 3D and become a person. So they don't have conscious thoughts. They only feel feelings and emotions. Okay. So when an animal is raised in fear and it doesn't have in a big farm, big ag, right? And it's beaten and it's put in terrible conditions and then it's murdered. What happens is it's like the adrenochrome that we talk about, the elites and how they killing babies. It's the same thing. Eating veal, right? Eating baby lamb shanks, eating lamb, or any kind of meat. That if that animal is produced in a somewhere you go to the store and buy it, then that meat was probably not really cruelty free. And that animal experienced incredible trauma and anger and rage and fear. And now literally you're going to go and eat that meat. You're going to eat it. And those cells of fear and anger and rage become part of you. It's not fucking woo-woo. It's just science. It's literally how it works. You are what you eat. Well, technically you are what you absorb, but you are what you eat. And so if you want to eat a lot of meat, go ahead. And look, you go, oh, I've been eating a carnivore diet and blah, 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 blah. Like, cool, man. Like, listen, I'm not here to get anybody to stop eating meat. If you're going to eat meat, I will eventually in the next year or 2 years at the tops will only be eating meat that I've actually hunted myself, that I've gone out and taken from the land, harvested from the land. And there's a lot of reasons for this: ethical, health, all of this. Okay. Now we've gotten kind of off topic because I wanted to talk about the number one health secret that Big Pharm doesn't want you to know, but I want you guys to understand how this all works. Big Pharm wants to keep you sick. Big ads they get paid by Big Pharm and medicine and big government and lobbyists. It's all connected. Everybody's making money off of you being sick and unhealthy and in fear. Same thing with the mask bullshit that's going on right now. I don't know what time in the world you're listening to this. Maybe the virus has stopped, maybe not. Although they just reported, the big media, mainstream media, just reported last night that a brand new H1N1 swine flu strand has been discovered in China, and it has now jumped into a few humans. Okay, true story. Right now, they're conjuring up another pandemic, and this one is a beefed up steroid super shredder. Go Google it right now. H1N1 swine flu. It's breaking out in China right now, and they're going to try to push this to you, okay? Because the coronavirus is that people are starting to wake up, and so they're trying to keep people in fear. The more fear that you have, the more compliant you'll be. Think of the Hunger Games, literally like that. Remember in the Hunger Games, is it the first one or the second one? I think it was the second one, and they're just starting the tour, and Katniss comes out, and there's that old black guy at the very end of what she's saying, and he goes, or whatever the whistle is, right? I can't do it. And he puts his fingers up, and then everybody does it. And then what happens next? The soldiers, they put down their batons, they bulge into the crowd, they grab that guy, they bring him right up in front of the thing, they drop him to his knees, and they shoot him in the back of the head in front of everybody, right? Don't act out against us, or we will fucking kill you. And it's basically the same exact thing. The media pumps you guys to believe that you can't. Okay, so if coronavirus is such a big thing, then why aren't any of the health experts talking about how to boost your immune system? Why hasn't anybody shared with you guys what I'm about to share with you right now, the number one health secret that Big Pharm doesn't want you to know? Why hasn't anybody talked about taking vitamin D? Why hasn't anybody talked about getting zinc? Why hasn't anybody talking about vitamin C, getting a B complex vitamin that takes care of all of your stuff? Why isn't anybody talking about how to improve your quality of sleep, promoting the Aura Ring? Why aren't we talking about good quality water? Why aren't we talking about the number one health secret that Big Pharm doesn't want you to know? Why isn't mainstream media reporting on that? Because what they're reporting on is not real. It's a propaganda machine. It's just designed to get you guys to be in fear, so then you guys turn to their solutions. We talk about this in speaking all the time, right? This is framing. You got to get the people to see within a frame, then you got to position a certain circumstance, and then you offer them the solution. It's very, very simple. I do the same thing. I sell freedom coaching, and I sell a mastermind event. Okay, so like for example, Gillen University, it's reopening July 6th for anybody that wants coaching on how to achieve health, wealth, love, and happiness. I sell Marshall Palooza. It's a 7-day mastermind. It's a vacation mastermind for influencers, people that want to learn how to make online income, passive income. I call it Wi-Fi money. Okay. So what I do is I make content and I travel and I show you guys things within a frame that proves to you that location-free lifestyle and online money is possible, right? That's what I do. And that's the frame I create with them. And so everybody that knows anything about persuasion influence does the same thing. And so you have to understand that that's what mainstream media is designed to do. We show the graphics on the show all the time. There's basically 10 companies that own all of the media. And so it's all designed to keep us sick and unhealthy. But Gillen Gang, I want to give you guys the information on how to break free. I wish I could do it all on one episode. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep sharing all the information with you. But this is why I want to hang out with you guys. This is why I want to make sure you guys are on those Zoom calls every Monday night. So literally, it's completely free. There's nothing you have to do. You just have to text Gillen Gang to 833-222-2694, and I'll see you guys on Mondays. Okay? Now, let's get into this, because that's how it all works. Now, if there was a way that you could be healthy, that you could heal your body, that you increase energy, that you could reverse aging, that you could be more productive, right? Would you want to know? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. Of course you would. Of course you'd want to know. Why wouldn't you, right? And so there's a way to do that, and it's been dismissed for so long that a lot of people don't even think about it, because we're just pushed certain Western diets. We're pushed, the paleo diet, and then low carb and high carb and no carb and vegetarian and vegan and yada yada. Dude, there's so many fucking Western diets, and everybody tells you there's the best carnivore and plant-based and yada yada yada. I'm not here to tell you guys any of that. I believe that in a largely plant-based diet is good. I know as a fact that science can prove that human beings only became human beings because of our consumption of meat. There was an enzyme inside of meat that allowed cavemen basically to, well, okay, it was aliens, but we're not going to get into that today. We're going to keep it tangible today. There was our consumption of meat allowed us to create, evolve in a way that our brain had a function that it otherwise wouldn't have had. And so I'm not here going to tell you that not to eat meat. I believe that human beings were a bit built for survival. And so you have to think about, what was it like 27,000 years ago? 20,000, 15,000 years ago, when there was no supermarkets and you couldn't just get food. You were living in caves. They didn't have agriculture. There wasn't agriculture. There wasn't farming. Okay, there wasn't anything like that. And so these people didn't know when they were going to eat. They found a cave and they stayed in the cave because there was fucking animals out there trying to eat them, big ass animals. Okay, and when they did leave the cave or the dwelling, they had to be very, very careful. They had to be very careful not to get eaten. And so hunting and gathering, sure, that's good. And they would probably eat a ton of plants and fruits, right? Because that's would have been all there was to eat. However, when they were able to get their hands on a kill, oh, you best believe they were eating it. You best believe they were eating it, especially after the invention of fire. Which, imagine, you guys, imagine being the first person to find fire. It was probably like electricity probably struck, or lightning probably struck something and caught on fire, and they're like, holy shit, how do we do that? And then somebody probably threw something against flint and a spark, and they, you know what I mean? But whoever the first person was, they were probably like, holy shit, look what I just made. Like, that would be the coolest thing ever, right? But especially once fire came along, you best believe that humans were eating whatever they could do to survive. And so I'm not going to say, oh, humans were designed, science shows it was designed just for plants, or science shows it was just like, that's such a stupid fucking argument. Stupid. Who cares? Because Western diets are not designed to keep us necessarily healthy. Although the people that are pushing them don't realize that. And they're just trying to stand and validate what it is that they know. And look, it's like I tell people with working out, you know what program works the best? You know what diet works the best? The one you stick to. It's nothing. We talked about in the beginning of the episode, consistency over time. That's it. Consistency and a plan. Consistency and a plan. Consistency and a plan. That's it, you guys. But there is one thing that is a common denominator when it comes to healing, physically healing disease. There's a common denominator when it comes to reversing aging. There's a common denominator when it comes to having more energy. There's a common denominator when it comes to feeling better. There's a common denominator that comes with losing weight. Okay? And it's the number one health secret that Big Pharma doesn't want you to know. And that secret is something you guys heard of before. It's called time-restricted eating. It's called time-restricted eating. If you guys want to know the number one health secret that Big Pharma doesn't want you to know, it's called time-restricted eating. Time-restricted eating, otherwise known as fasting. Now, it's crazy because what has happened is that people are starting to wake up to the benefits of fasting. However, the global elite have quickly acted and started to put in things into place that have manipulated the ideology of what fasting is. And what I mean is that it's being pushed to us through media and through TV and through programming that fasting is a great way to lose weight. And it's been singled out as a weight loss gimmick. Only to the point now where you see big companies making fasting mimicking products. Buy our fasting mimicking products. Don't go hungry. Learn how to manipulate your body into fat. So you're starting to see, again, it's getting out of control. And so the people that are running the world, they're like, okay, what do we do? We gotta do this. So in the Western society, if you say fasting, anybody, automatically people are going to talk about losing weight. Now, do you lose weight? Yes, you will. 100%. Yep, that's going to happen with time-restricted eating. But there's so much more in play and in process when you guys do fasting, okay? And so we're not going to get into the spiritual aspect of it or the mental aspect of it today. I'm going to stick to just the physical aspects of it, okay? But you have to understand is that for me, fasting is a very spiritual thing and it's a very mental, it's a discipline thing. One thing is that a lot of us, we don't even realize subconscious program, we're very compulsive. We're compulsive because we can't stop moving. We're compulsive because we can't unplug. We're compulsive. Why always got to be doing something? We're very, very compulsive. It's because what you don't understand is subconsciously we have this fear and angst inside of us because we don't know ourselves. And there's some probably pain or trauma in there that we haven't dealt with. And so because of that, we're constantly doing and never being. That's why so many people never really get to where they want because they're spinning their wheels. They're stuck in the matrix. They're stuck in the programming. Put on the mask, which again, you know why they don't care what kind of mask you put on? Because it's not about safety. It's about compliance. And so these people become compliant and they don't really live. They're not living. They're surviving. And that's very sad to me. Who wants to fucking survive? I'm trying to thrive and live. And so for me, I started to do more research and I started to learn more things. I started to learn more skills. One of the things I learned about is called biohacking. What do you guys heard of hacking before? Oh, let's hack that. How do you hack into that? What's this life hack? Well, biohacking is just how do you hack your biology to have better success in life? If you want to have more wealth and more success, you better start with your health. I promise you that. And the simplest and easiest way to start is time-restricted eating. Because what happens when you fast is your body starts to do a bunch of things. Now, I can talk about the types of fast, but let me talk about the science behind why fasting works first, okay? One, the mentality is going to help you let go of compulsion, which is going to help you heal mentally and emotionally overall, right? It's a discipline there. Spiritually, it allows me to connect with my food and allows me to be grateful because it's something I take for granted so often is the fact that I can just shove food in my face and not be hungry anytime I want. Most of the world can't do that. Most of the world is starving. Most of the world, little kids literally go to bed nights after night after night with an empty stomach, tears in their eyes because they're so hungry and malnourished. And here we are just fucking eating. So not only is fasting a mental discipline where I can start to release myself from compulsive habits, doing, and I can start to be present and now. That coupled with the fact, that's the spiritual aspect of that. Let me be present. Or that's the mental aspect. Let me unplug from compulsiveness. So you say the same thing with people who are addicted to porn, masturbation, drugs, drinking, sex, like all kinds of things that people use to numb themselves because they don't actually just stay and be. Okay. Spiritually, again, it's a connection to my food. I'm able to look at it and go, wow, I'm so grateful and honored to be able to eat this. Thank you so much. And we know that gratitude is a great life. There's a physical aspect, and the physical aspect is what I'm talking about today. And so let's talk about what happens to your body physically when you fast. There's a few different energy systems that your body uses to be able to power itself. Okay. One of them is a very short energy burst that's run by something called ATP. It's a long fucking scientific name that I can't say, and you probably can't either. So let's not pretend like we can. It's ATP. And what ATP does is it's good for short bursts of energy between like 30 and 60 seconds. So think sprinting or dynamic weightlifting, things like this, okay? HIIT workouts. That's ATP. And what ATP does is it pulls from sugar in your body, okay? So what happens with ATP is it connects with, oh, Marshall, I'm blanking. Glycogen. Doesn't sound right. What happens is ATP, I'm rusty. I should know this. I'm blanking. I must have had too many vitamins today. And anyway, so ATP, what it does, it's a short burst energy, okay? It operates off of sugar. Then there's also a long, that's anabolic. There's an aerobic side of your energy system that also feeds off sugars, but it's powered by the lungs. And so one is powered by muscle and one is powered by lungs, okay? But they both feed off of sugar. And sugar is just carbohydrates. So when you eat a carbohydrate, that carbohydrate becomes sugar. Now, not all sugars are created equally. That means not all carbs are created equally. But this is a basic rundown. When you eat carbs, that carb becomes sugar or glucose. And when glucose goes into the body, your pancreas secretes insulin. And that insulin's a hormone. And that hormone, then insulin connects with that glucose, and that becomes glycogen. Okay? So now that glycogen is going to go feed your muscle belly. So if you're working out and exercising, that glycogen feeds your muscles because every single day there's certain containers that you need to fill up to stay healthy. They're called macronutrients. And the three macronutrients or three containers that you need to focus on every day are protein, carbohydrates, and fat. However, two of those have a limit. One of them does not. So you can fill up your protein container and you can fill up your carbohydrate container, which means how much are you allowed to eat daily. You can fill those up and then they shut down. Guess where all those extra ones, guess where all the extra calories then go to once your carbs and your proteins are filled up for the day? They spill over into fat, okay? Because your fat container has no top. All of the unused calories that you consume, they are stored as fat. Okay, cool. So now that we know that, now that's one major energy system. Okay. Yes, there's an energy system, then there's anaerobic and aerobic within that, but it operates off of glucose, which is sugar, which becomes glycogen. Okay. That's how it works. Now, there's a separate energy system that your body uses, and we evolved this way, and it operates off of fat. or ketones. Okay, so one of the body operates off of like insulin and one operates off of ketones. They're both produced inside the body. Now, why does it work like this? It's because what happened back in the day, a lot of you go, Marshall, I could never fast for a long time. I couldn't give up food. Bullshit. Bullshit. Don't tell me you can't. How you do one thing is how you do everything. You can do anything you want. It's about creating discipline and a focus in your life. Okay? You can't stand for anything, you'll fall for anything. So you can do this. Now, the reason that fasting works, the reason we evolved to also operate off of fat as energy is because back in the day when you couldn't fucking eat, when there was no berries around and there was nothing growing because it was wintertime and you couldn't get any kill, you would go days without food. Now, the body has a really cool built-in mechanism that when you start to go days without food, your body actually starts to upregulate the production of growth hormone. Now, growth hormone is also, you can also take growth hormone, like inject it, right? With just straight growth hormone, which is very expensive, but it's called the fountain of youth. It's called the fountain of youth. Now, the problem with growth hormone is that it speeds up, it causes everything in your body to grow, organs, everything. So I don't know if you should be assisted on growth hormone. Now, naturally producing growth hormone, though, it's like a fountain of youth. And so you hear a lot of bodybuilders and stuff, though, they want to use GH because GH will make their muscles bigger. But from just natural production, you can stimulate growth hormone a lot of different ways. Lifting heavy weights is a good way to produce growth hormone. But the point of it is that, you know, even after fasting for 2 or 3 days, your body starts to upregulate the production of growth hormone, because back 20,000 years ago, the longer you went without food, you still had to be able to have the energy to go out and kill it as a survival mechanism. And so our body evolved to also operate off of ketones. Now, why do I say that? Because the number one health trick that Big Pharm doesn't want you to know is literally this. It's literally that when you fast, it gives your body the ability to heal. Now, you guys know that your body is full of a bunch of systems. It's all kinds of systems: respiratory system, circulatory system, lymphatic system, digestive system, like all the systems. There's so many systems that your body has. Now, your body is like a giant computer, okay? And if your computer tried to run every single program that your computer has on it at one time, what would happen to your computer? Yeah, it would crash. Your computer would crash. And so your body turns on certain programs and systems within itself at certain times of the day. That's why when you wake up in the morning, you have to take a shit, because right around the hours of 5:30 or 6 is when your bowels release. That's when the program for your bowels are up, they're online and active, and they're releasing. They're going, okay, this is the time to release. Your body operates on the clock. If you don't believe me, go look at Chinese medicine, and it'll clearly tell you what time of the day is best for everything. This is why eating cyclical and according to the seasons is so important, but we're not going to get into that either. Not today. It's called Ayurveda. Ayurveda. I study Ayurvedic medicine, something that I'm going to be talking about at Marshallpalooza, something we're going to be talking about in Gillen University. But it's Ayurveda. It's the science of life. But we're not going to talk about that. Not today. I want to keep this tangible. And so eating or not eating, right, restrictive time eating, will allow your body to heal, because all the digestive system, it takes so much energy to turn food into you. Okay, it takes a ton of energy. And so what happens is you see our body, when it's constantly being fed, constantly eating, our immune system doesn't have time to act like it's supposed to. Our lymphatic system doesn't have time to act like it's supposed to. Our respiratory system, our body's natural innate ability to heal, which science has now proven that any organ within the body can heal itself. Okay, any single organ inside of your body can naturally heal itself without medicine. I mean, plant medicines, like herbs and spices and food, right? But any organ within your body can heal itself. Again, this is the number one health secret that Big Pharm doesn't want you to know. And the number one way to activate that self-healing program within your body is fasting. Because when your digestive system is turned off, it's giving your body the ability to use that energy to upregulate the production of the other systems, which is also to amplify your body's ability to heal. And so check this out. When you fast for up to 16 hours, okay, so a lot of people do intermittent fasting. They'll eat for 8 hours a day and they'll fast for 16 hours a day. For me, and for women, it's different. You have to understand, for women, it's different. And for women, especially if you're pregnant or ovulating and trying to get pregnant, massively different. I would say for women, and especially, and based on my studies that I've done and all the people I've talked to, it seems like the best, one of the best windows for women is about fasting for about 12 to 14 hours. Fasting for about 12 to 14 hours a day seems to be a really good marker for women to really take advantage of intermittent fasting. Now, there's also prolonged fasting. And that's something that I kind of start to get into. Now, for me, I usually operate on a 18-6, which means that I don't eat. There's an 18-hour window where I don't consume any calories, just water or coffee or tea, no calories. And then in that 6-hour window, I'll eat. Right now, at the time of shooting this, I'm doing what's called OMAD, or 1 meal a day. And so really what it is it's 23-1. 23 hours a day, I'm not eating anything. And then 1 hour of the day, I consume my food. Now, eventually what I'll end up doing is another 3-day fast. After 3 days, there's the health benefit, the health benefits don't go down, but like the percent, like it's not as efficient. Okay. So after 3 days, it's really more of a spiritual thing. It's more spiritual than anything. So the 3 days is the longest I'll ever go, 72 hours. Now, what happens within the first 16 hours of fasting is your body starts to move from operating on carbohydrates to ketones. Okay. So your body then switches systems. Now, at the time of switching to ketones, what that means is your body is no longer going to feed off sugars and carbs because the body is void of it. And so it's got to, for survival, it's got to figure out what to do next. And so it's going to start pulling from your adipose tissue or your fat. So the fat, the blubber that is all over you is literally going to become the food for your body to eat. Okay. And so when you start to fast for 16 hours, what's going to happen is your body's going to start to suck out those fat stores. You're going to move to ketones. What happens now within up to hour 24, so if you make it 24 hours of fasting, now what happens is you're going to take something what's called advantage of something called autophagy. Autophagy. Now, autophagy is your body's natural recycling system. It's a natural cleanup. It's like the cleaning crew. Autophagy. What happens during autophagy, once you get to 24 hours of no calories, what happens is you have damaged cells within you. These damaged cells are damaged for all kinds of different reasons. But for whatever reason, the telomeres within the DNA are not reporting the information to your freaking cells anymore, and your cells don't know how to replicate themselves. And so they become damaged. And when damaged cells, when cells become damaged, they turn the environment acidic. And from that acidity is where you get disease, things like cancer. Okay. And so you have to understand that the damaged cells, no good. However, there are some big, strong cells that are running around inside of there. And during the autophagy phase, which is right around hours 24 to 36, what you're going to see is that your body is going to move, your body's strong cells are going to go around and start eating up all of the bad cells, all of the broken cells, all the damaged cells. They're going to go around and start eating them up. And they're going to recycle all the good parts to make themselves stronger. And then they're going to eliminate all of the bad parts, which will probably be eliminated, which is eliminated into something like your lymphatic system, which your lymphatic system just gets rid of all the toxins and waste in your body. Okay, you with me so far? So that's hour 24. You move into autophagy, hour 24 to 36. Okay. Now, something else cool is going to start to happen right around this phase. Is that you're going to start to see an uptick around hour 36 of growth hormone production. Okay, your body is starting to wake up and starting to go, okay, I've got to figure out how to fuel myself. Okay, at this point, you're in full ketosis. By hour 36, you're in full ketosis, like all the way, man. Your body is fucking eating fat for a living. That's what it does. Okay, now once you get to hour 48, once you get to around hour 48, what's going to start to happen is your body is going to start to become insanely insulin sensitive. Okay. So now what you're giving your body the chance to do is to really start to click into the healing benefits, or your body's natural healing benefits. Okay. When you move into hour 72, the best thing of all happens. Oh my God. I almost forgot what it was called. Hour 72, another system kicks in, another phase kicks in, what's called apoptosis. So in every hour 72, apoptosis kicks in. And what apoptosis is that your body's last line of defense to save itself, to heal itself. And so apoptosis is your body's self-destruct system. It's a self-destructing, self-terminating system. Like when the Terminator 2 goes, I cannot self-terminate, and he fucking clicks the thing and burn. Like, it's not quite like that. You can self-terminate. Your body has a natural ability at about 72 hours to really start to take advantage of what's called apoptosis, which is your body's natural termination system. And so what happens in apoptosis kicks in is your body has a self-destructing mechanism within every single cell. And when apoptosis kicks in, what happens is it activates this self-destructing switch that are inside of your cell, that are inside of every damaged cell. So this has been proven by Dr. Longo from Salk Institute, which is in San Diego, which is at the University of San Diego. He is the leading expert in fasting, time-restricted eating strategies, and studies have proven studies in human beings within the last year that show that 72-hour fast have a dramatic impact on upregulating apoptosis. And apoptosis, what that does is any cell that's damaged inside of you, that could be cancer, that could be anything, it will self-destruct and cease to be. It'll self-terminate. It'll kill itself, and then it'll be eliminated. That's it. And your body has the natural ability to do this. It's simple. It's just time-restricted eating. And so for me personally, it's so much easier for my day. Like, what are we talking about? So much easier. Like right now, one meal a day, like I don't have to worry about anything. I just know like 4:30, 5 o'clock, I get one meal in, and then maybe a protein shake at the end of it, a couple dates, and I'm good to go. Now, on the weekends, yeah, you know what? I eat some stuff. On the weekends, I still eat within my window, 16:8, but I'm a little more liberal. I'll have some pizza. I'll have my beers. I mean, I'm not maxing out, but I'll have my ice cream. Today, I was working out in the gym, and there was an old guy, what a dickhead. Not an old guy. He was only like 55 probably, but he was a wrestling coach probably. He was wearing an old wrestling shirt. He was jacked. He was one of those old men jacked, how they look all hard and dried out. And he kept looking at me, and finally walked over, and he's like, bro, you're jacked. He's like, your diet must be incredible. And I told him, man, I said, yo, bro, it's just for time-restricted eating. It's just fasting. Like, it's literally just fasting. But this is the number one health secret that Big Pharm doesn't want you to know. They don't want you to know that you can literally heal your body, reverse aging, okay? Reverse disease, have more energy, right? Have better sex, look better, feel better. They don't tell you that. They don't tell you that, because if you know that information, then you know that there's no coronavirus, there's no cancer, there's no heart disease, there's nothing that can touch you. It's a different vibration and frequency that you're at. It's not woo-woo, it's science. But if the coronavirus or whatever is real, then if cancer, why aren't they telling us this? Why aren't we being taught this in school? Why doesn't the government teach us about fasting? Why are they pushing it as a weight loss drug? Because it's the number one health secret they don't want you to know, Gillen Gang. Okay? Let's see. Paige says men's bodies run on circadian rhythm. Newer studies are finding that women run on infradian. Yeah, this is exactly right. So while still need to fast, we women need to tweak our meat methods a bit. 100%. She's so spot on. That's literally exactly why. You guys, the more you know. And again, I wouldn't prescribe a diet in particular to anybody. What I recommend you guys do, I used Viome.com for my mentor. The reason I use Viome is because they do something called a gut biome test. So you guys, all of us have to interested know how many women of menstrual age were in. You know what, Paige? So I'm going to get back to what I was saying. Paige says she'd be interested to know how many women of menstrual age were in the study you mentioned. So I follow Dr. Rhonda Patrick. If you guys are not following her, if you're a man or a woman, you should be following Dr. Patrick. Like, she's a gosh dang genius. But I think, if I remember, it was like over a year ago that I read the study. I might be able to dig through, and I probably should, since I'm talking about it, and find it for show notes. But Dr. Patrick talks about this. And then there's all kinds of biohacking things online that I follow. There's a Canadian biohacker on Instagram, at Canadian Biohacker, I think is her name. Biohacking. There's tons of biohackers I follow on there, and they're always sharing. But again, this is why I read all the time. This is why I'm always learning, you guys. We got to be mastering our skills and sharpening our axe every single day. You need to be dedicating at least an hour of your time to learning every single day. I don't care how good you are at what you do. You've got to constantly be sharpening that skill. And I know that Paige, based on the question she's asking, I know that she's that kind of person. So Paige, I'm not preaching at you. But yes, that's very good. Evelyn says, how did you get to know all this? You know so much about so much. Yeah, girl, like I'm telling you, I've been preaching to you guys freedom lifestyle, okay? Freedom lifestyle. You want to know what my job is, you guys? My job is just to learn about shit that I think is interesting. I thought I was dying of cancer last year, Evelyn, so I learned biohacking. I learned it all in like a couple of months so I could save my life. God has a very big mission for me, Evelyn, and at Gillen Gang. I don't know why I know so much about so much. I know a ton of stuff about health, wealth, love, and happiness and how to achieve it all. And then God gave me the ability to slow it down and explain it in a communicable way that makes it understandable and digestible for other people. And he gave me the gift of gab to let words come here and out of my mouth at a rapid pace. Like right now, all the stuff I'm doing, I'm not doing. Like Marshall Gillen is not, you guys, I'm not doing any of this. I just turned on the lights and sat down and I was like, all right, well, I'm supposed to talk about fasting today. I have no script. I never know what I'm going to talk about. I just start talking. God is just flowing through me. And so not to get off topic, but Evelyn's like, how do you know all this? Like, girl, I just made myself available to God. I got connected to God, my God, the God of my spirituality. I connected to through nature and biohacking. And then God led me to the skills and the people that gave me the abilities to be able to have freedom, travel the world, and to be able to teach people. I'm a teacher. That's what I do. Like, I'm a teacher, right? Like that's what I'm meant to do. So Evelyn, I hope that answers your question. Now, let me get back to what we were saying just 1 second ago, and I'm going to share some more comments here. But what you guys got to do is everybody's gut is designed different. And inside of that, you have bacteria that's called biome, gut biome. You have good, healthy bacteria that needs to be living in your body to be healthy. But they don't teach you this. This is why it's so important to eat healthy, living food. If it lasts longer on a shelf than a week, that's probably not good for you. That's because real food has enzymes in it that make it rot and break down. Those enzymes are needed. When you eat food that is void of nutritional value and digestive enzymes, that food sits in your gut and it causes disease because it can't break itself down. And the hydrochloric acid within your stomach has to work even harder to try to digest that. And so we want to be eating these real living foods because they have digestive enzymes in them that help our body break it down naturally. And then that leaves behind a good bacteria within our stomach that is everything. You guys got to understand that we have 3 brains. We have the mind, the heart, and the gut. And the gut, I would say, is probably the leader of them all. Your gut is where infinite intelligence is held. Everything that you need for good health, like there's no secret to good health. There's 2 things. You need to take care of your gut and you need to take care of your hips. If you guys have good, healthy hips, and this is going back to my personal training days, but if you guys are here and you guys have good, healthy movement through your hips and you guys can do all the movements, if you always make sure that your core and your hips are strong so you can move and that you have a healthy gut, you'll live to be fucking 120, which I'm going to live to be at least 120. Healthy hips, healthy gut, and you'll have a happy life. I guarantee that. Well, you have to have a healthy heart too, but so let's get back to this. So gut biome. So if I were you guys, I would find a place that can test your gut biome, because once you take a test of your gut biome, so let me show you what biome looks like. Now, my mentor, his name is Naveen Jain. He's a billionaire that left his companies to try to make disease optional. How do I? Oh man. I was going to show you how this works, how this biome works. What happens is they tell you what food you can eat, what you can't eat. I want to give you guys an example of this. So give me 1 second. Let me see if I can get logged into this real quick. If I can't, I'll skip over this. If you're listening to this on podcast, again, I thank you so much for being here. If you guys haven't grabbed your Gillen Gang stuff yet out of marshallgillen.com store, make sure you guys go do that. We got to get the world fitted out in Gillen Gang gear. Come on, baby. I'm trying. Come on. It's like, oh, it worked. I got it. Okay. So your gut biome will tell you that there's certain tests that can be done that can tell you what your gut biome is saying you need and what you don't need. Okay. Specifically to you, because not everybody's created the same. My mentor created a company called Viome, VIOM, that has on a mission to make disease optional. It launched like 2 or 3 years ago. So right now what they're doing is they're selling their kits at cost. They're making absolutely no money. The reason is because they just want the data, because the more data they collect, the more they can fix a solution to how to solve food crisis, how to solve disease, okay? And so, for example, I took the volume test. Now it's very gross. They send you a kit in the mail. You got to take a dump, and then you got to like take a swab of the dump, and you got to put the dump inside of a vial thing, and then twist it. And you got the dump, and you put the dump thing with the dampness in the container, and you seal it, and you mail your dump to some scientists, and they test your dump. And when your dump comes back, it tells you all kinds of things, like scores to focus on, things I need to focus on, like my oxalate metabolism pathways needs improvement. And then it tells me why it needs improvement, okay? And then what happens is it talks about metabolic fitness. My metabolic fitness is average, which means that my metabolism is running a little low. My gas production is average, because gas production is important, you guys, because it means you have good, healthy bacteria in your stomach. My active microbial diversity wasn't very high when I did this last. Okay, it's been like a year. I need to redo this. Uric acid production pathways, not the best. That was average. Now, things I'm really good at, same thing. Inflammatory activity, digestive efficiency, gut lining health, protein fermentation, all excellent in my body, okay? Now, that's just an example. Now, let's go back to my list. Let's go to my list of foods, because up here, it'll tell me my list of foods. Again, I have no affiliation with Viome. It's just something I really use, Gil and Gang, and I want to share it with you guys. So you guys can see here, I have foods to avoid and minimize. I have my superfoods and my supplements. So if I go to my superfoods, it literally will tell me a list of my superfoods and why. So, my superfoods are not long. Brussels sprouts, endive, garlic, thank fucking God, Jerusalem, mustard seed, olives, oregano, sauerkraut, spinach, sweet potatoes, turmeric. These are examples of my superfoods. Now, it'll also break down a list of foods to avoid, ones to minimize. Okay, so, and there's tons of them. You could type in all this stuff, but this is what you learn from this thing. So things that I need to avoid, that my body just does not digest well at all, are bell peppers, which when I found this out was devastating, because I love bell peppers. I used to eat peppers every single morning because they're jam-packed with vitamin C. Not good for my body. Brown rice, not good. Chickpeas, chestnuts, grapes, lentils, paprika, peas, potatoes, white potatoes, tomatoes, barley, blackberry, cane sugar, corn, couscous, cranberry. Okay, these are things I need to minimize. Dates, need to minimize that, which is depressing. Maple syrup, which I used to believe that all food is just a maple syrup transportation vehicle, but I've since had to cut that out. A lot of things I do, like pomegranates, prunes, raspberries, right? But it's helped me feel better, function better. And so when you know what to fuel your body with, when you know what to fuel your body with, in combination with things like fasting, in combination with things like, temperature therapy, with working out, with meditation, with drinking good quality living water. This is literally, you guys, look how clear this is. I literally went to a fucking mountain, right? Side of a mountain. I held this down. Oh, Evelyn says I need that test ASAP. Girl, I'm telling you, I think it's like 113 or 130 bucks, something like that right now. I 1000% fully recommend, stand behind Viome. If you guys aren't following Naveen, N-A-V-E-N, nope. N-A-V-E-E-N, N-A-V-E-E-N, Naveen Jain, J-A-I-N, Naveen Jain. Go follow Naveen Jain. He is a gangster. Yeah, so that's it. Fasting 101, number one health secret that Big Pharma doesn't want you to know. I would go get that. Now, for those of you guys who want to join Gillen University, this is the kind of stuff that I'm teaching I teach every week. Okay, so inside of Gillen University, what happens is that you have access to online programs, but you also have access to live coaching from me. Okay, so Gillen University opens again for enrollment July 6th, and it's based on helping you create health, wealth, love, and happiness in your life. Every single week, you'll get a new lesson, and every single week, I'll give you something that's going to help you have more freedom. Remember, health, wealth, love, and happiness is just a measure, just things that we're using to acquire freedom, which is what we all really want. Time freedom, financial freedom, emotional, mental freedom from the pain and trauma and worries of our life. We want freedom. And so if you guys like this kind of training, this is the kind of training I'm going to do inside of Gillen University. Now, look, if you guys want to live this, if you guys want to live and experience this, if you want to know what it's like to live a day doing intermittent fasting 18-6 and what it's like to do yoga and cold therapy and all these things that I do on a regular biohacking on a regular basis, that's literally why I have Marshallpalooza. I have Marshallpalooza so you can come out, have a fucking blast, feel true happiness and just unplug, get away from society and public for a while. Come on, connect with yourself. And then so I can help you guys learn how to use biohacking to create health, wealth, love, and happiness. That's literally, it's 7 days of learning, expansion, growth, and fun. So if you want to join Gillen University, let me know. If you're coming to Marshallpalooza, you guys can click a link somewhere around here to get a ticket in the mansion cabin. Other than that, though, maybe some of you guys are like, dude, I'm not ready to invest any money yet. I just need a little bit more help before I can invest some of my money. Dude, I totally understand. And so if you guys want, I'm hosting a hangout every single Monday, Gillen Gang. If you guys text me, Gillen Gang, to 833-222-2694, you guys can have access to it completely for free. Now, the hangouts are going to be way different than Gillen University, you guys. I'm not going to be teaching you guys anything on these Monday hangouts. I just want to hang out with you guys. Like, I just want to share some energy. Just want to go around the horn and see what's working, what's not. If we can help each other collectively as a group, if there's somebody within the group that knows, want to help connect people. So if you want to be more connected and you want to be connected to good energy, make sure you show up for the calls. But if you guys want to learn how to do this, if you guys need help with diets, if you guys need help with nutrition, fitness, if you guys need help with businesses, if you guys need help with coaching, if you guys need help with healing emotional trauma, if you guys need help with anything that has to do with health, wealth, love, and happiness, I'm your boy, and Gillen University is literally the solution that I have for the world to be able to create ultimate freedom in their lives. That's just what God put me here to do. I don't know why, but I'm pumped. I love it. My job is awesome. Evelyn says, PM'd you about Gillen University. Good girl. Hey, but Evelyn, so for example, Evelyn, she's going to get access to Gillen University she's going to get access to Gillen University because she invested in Marshallpalooza. And so right now, for anybody, I've never done this before. I've never done this before in any of my programs. But I'll just say right now, since Evelyn said that, Evelyn has already invested into Marshallpalooza, as well as a few of you else have watching this, but I'll just use her as an example. And so Evelyn is like, oh, I've already invested. I paid that. And she got the whole deal, right? VIP the whole way. And so Evelyn's already coming to Marshallpalooza. And so I have decided that I'm going to give away a whole year tuition for free. Okay. For free to Gillen University. I'm going to give away a year of tuition for absolutely free to anybody that invests in Marshallpalooza come September. So I'm putting my money where my mouth is at. The reason is because when Marshallpalooza comes, I want to be able to hang out with people who are like, money doesn't mean anything if you're the only one with it. Like, money's not fun to have if you're the only one of your friends that has it. Trust me. Like, it's just not fun. And so I want to Marshallpalooza is not about selling shit. Marshallpalooza is about hanging out with influencers like me, people that are making online businesses and solutions like me. And so I realize that the more skills I equip the Gillen Gang with, the more money and freedom they can create. And then they can come to things like Marshallpalooza and actually just have fun and not have to worry about fucking everything, because I'm teaching them how to have freedom. And so for the first time ever, I'm giving away an entire year to Gillen University, a tuition for free, waiving the tuition fee, which is considerable, to anybody that invests in Marshallpalooza. Plus, it's like when you invest in Marshallpalooza, not only are you going to get to go to Marshallpalooza, which is a 7-week mastermind, but you also get a full year access to Gillen University. And on top of that, you also get 50% off of any other Marshallpalooza or birthday charity events or anything like that. Any event that I sell that I have going forward for the next year, you get 50% off. So when you invest in Marshallpalooza, you get Marshallpalooza, you get Gillen University for a whole entire year for free, and you get 50% off of any event I do for free. So Evelyn, congratulations. I know you didn't know that. She says, you are absolutely amazing, Marshall. This is a game changer. It is a game changer, Evelyn. I'm going to help you the whole way. And I told you that when you invest in Marshallpalooza, I just needed a little bit of time to get the details worked out. And so that's why I'm so blessed to have people like Evelyn in my life, people that are patient. And so Evelyn, Gillen University is opening back up July 6th. Evelyn, I don't know who's going to be invested in it. It might be just you and me on the call to start it off. I doubt it, but you never know. Okay. So if anybody has been like, yo, I need help in my business. I need help with productivity. I need help with production and habits. I need help with health and fitness. I need help with understanding why I'm so angry all the time. Dude, I'm telling you guys, Gillen University is the place to fucking do it. The reason I'm running for president is because I believe we're not being taught the things that we need to be taught as a society when we're young. And so I was like, how can I fucking fix that? You know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to build a university myself. I'm going to do it online so I can help people all over the world. And this is what we're going to do. And so Gillen Gang, that's what's up. If you guys want to be part of Gillen University, holla at your boy. And if you just want to hop on the calls and hang out, do that too. Okay, last one. Have you guys, I don't know if my audience knows, if you guys are old enough to remember, there used to be this movie called Over the Top, and it starred Sylvester Stallone. And what Stallone did is he was a truck driver, but he was really good at arm wrestling. So he was like, the whole movie was he was trying to reunite with his son who lives with his mom now, and his son is this young cat who hates his dad, and dad's just trying to be patient and get his son to love him again. And so the dad arm wrestles, and he's building up towards this big arm wrestling event in Las Vegas where the winner gets like $100,000 and wins a brand new semi truck. And so there's part of the movie where Sly, the character, is being interviewed at the event, and he's standing in front of the truck, and they're interviewing all the contestants right in front of this truck, like it's a ESPN, like mock ESPN thing. And they're all like, yeah, I'm going to fucking do this and I'm going to do that and blah, blah. And then it's Stallone's character, and he's wearing his name is Lincoln Hawks. He's wearing this American Hawk hat. And he's, oh my God, I need to make a commercial of this. And he's like, there's just something for me that when I step in that ring and I put my hand up there, he's like, I take my hat and I just turn it around like this. And I'm like in the zone, right? It's just such a funny thing. I was just thinking of that. I know I'm crazy. Yeah. All right, Gillen Gang, I'm out of here. I love you. Hope you learned something today. Hey, be a friend, tell a friend, share this episode with somebody who might get some distance out of it, might get some value out of it. And text me, Gillen Gang, 833-222-2694, MarshallGillen.com to grab your Marshall merch. And I'll see you guys either at Marshallpalooza, or I'll see you in Gillen University, or I'll see you on the next episode. Peace. And a bottle of fucking hand grease. I don't know why I keep doing that.